Another day had just begun, and the garden was coming to life. Down at the bottom of the garden, near the shed, was an old, broken sundial nobody wanted. On the sundial was a beetle. A beetle with an unusual thought.
I wonder where I should take the egg.
Mr. Harrison, the snail, who had been sitting nearby, was especially curious to know what an egg was.
An egg, Mr. Harrison, is an egg.
Quite so, Lambeth. Very neatly put, if I may say so, for a beetle with no brain. But it still leaves me wondering what, if anything, an egg is. And why you should want to take it anywhere.
Well, to be quite honest, Mr. Harrison, I have been told to take this here egg.
Told?
Yes.
By whom were you told, Lambeth?
Now, that is another good point, Mr. Harrison.
And do you have a good answer to my good point?
Well, I do have an answer, but as to how good it is, I'm not sure.
Well, carry on.
You see, I don't know who told me.
Don't know? What do you mean you don't know? Was it a stranger?
Well, they were certainly strange, all right. But how strange, I can't say because I didn't see them.
Not see them? Do you normally take orders you don't understand from people you can't see, Lambeth?
No. This is the first time for me, Mr. Harrison.
What else did this thing you couldn't see tell you to do?
Well, let me see. After I'd taken the egg to somewhere I'm not sure about, I had to put it together with a flower.
What sort of flower? There are plenty in the garden.
An ugly one, Mr. Harrison.
An ugly one?
Oh, yes. They were quite clear about that.
Strange.
Take a plain flower, it said, beat it with an egg.
What?
And stand up for 20 minutes.
Take the egg and beat it with a flower? Then stand for... Oh, this is intolerable. Shouldn't be allowed. I want to see it straight away, Lambeth.
Yes?
I'll soon have it sorted out.
Jump up here, Mr. Harrison. Just by this clump of herbaceosity.
I take it you mean this green stuff.
Correct.
Then why don't you say so, you idiotic creature?
Morning, Mr. Harrison. Hello. How do you do, and so on?
Yes, quite, Ariadne. That's enough of that. We've come here on business.
Oh, yes.
Very important business.
Mr. Harrison has come to sort out you know who, Ariadne.
Oh, really? How splendid. It's still there, as you can hear.
Then you take it out of the oven after an hour, and what you have is a pure, crisp, golden brown delight with a smashing pink centre.
Pink? Sounds quite revolting.
But what is it, Mr. Harrison? It has me flummoxicated. I don't know anything that's pink.
Aha! The worm.
Possibly.
I knew he'd have something to do with it. I think I'd like a word with our suppose.
Did somebody mention my name?
Yes, it was me. And it was more than a mention.
Oh, more than a mention. I am honoured, Mr. Harrison.
You know, I don't think I like your rather cocky attitude, especially in the light of the circumstances.
Circumstances?
Yes, the circumstances behind the,
Herbaceosity.
this green stuff.
I'm not quite sure I understand, Mr. Harrison.
Let me explain as simply as I can. Stop me if I'm going too fast. Someone...
Oh, dear.
Are you still with me, suppose? Someone is back behind this green stuff, talking about pink objects in a rather unnecessarily loud voice. Well, what do you think of that?
Well, hardly anything at all, Mr. Harrison.
But is it anything to do with you or not? After all, you are pink.
Ish? Pinkish?
Oh, don't be picky, I suppose.
Mr. Harrison, it's all very odd.
Odd, eh? Not one of my favorite words.
Mr. Harrison, I think you should listen.
Very well. Quiet, everyone, and listen.
Oh, good grief. Yes, very odd.
Ooh. Oh, good gracious.
Oh,
What is happening?
my stomach sounds like that. Especially when I'm not feeling altogether well.
Which is more or less all the
You
time.
must eat very strange things for your stomach to sound like that, suppose.
Ish.
Oh, yes, strange-ish.
Now, let's look at tomorrow.
Oh.
Tomorrow looks like it's going to be very dull indeed.
There you are, you see.
Low cloud and rain everywhere for most of the day. Looking ahead,
yes.
I think we can say it's going to be very wet for days to come.
Is that it then? Ain't there nothing more?
Are you sure this has nothing to do with you, suppose? It sounds like your sort of thing. Saying something rather, odd? Yes. All right. Odd.
Mr. Harrison, I may be pinkish, and I may suffer from complaints you know nothing about. But one thing I am not. One thing I cannot be is in two places at once. Not here and there at the same time.
Suppose does have a point, Mr. Harrison.
All right. Perhaps he has. Then who is behind that
Herbaceosity.
that green stuff? Who is it that knows what tomorrow is going to be like? Who is this creature who knows it's going to be a wet tomorrow? Whatever that might be. Somebody with strange power-ish.
Strange-ish.
I have strange powers too, Mr. Harrison.
Oh, yes.
Indeed. If I concentrates all my amazing ography into one place, I can tell, with one fell swoop of my brain, tell you all what happened yesterday.
Yesterday? We all know what happened yesterday, you moronic muscle brain.
Well, I didn't say I was alone in my amazingness, did I, Mr. Harrison?
You may not be Lambeth, but someone is, and that someone is out there.
Oh.
Hello, someone out there?
Hello?
By all that's in the garden, it's still there.
Call again, Mr. Harrison. Please, do call again.
Very well. Hello? Who is it out there calling us over here?
It is me.
Hello, me. This is I mean, Mr. Harrison. What have you to tell us?
I'd much rather be over there with you. It's not very nice over here.
Well, me, come over here. We'd love to see you.
Yes, and make sure to bring all your amazingography with you. Righto. Be over in a tick.
Over in a tick? That doesn't sound right. Oh, well, we mustn't be too choosy. After all, we are just about to meet a being with powers.
Morning, everyone. I must say, it's nice to be back.
Anorak?
Oh, right, first time, Mr. Harrison.
But I was expecting a being with powers. Someone who knew what was going to happen tomorrow. Someone wonderful and outstanding, and all I've got is you.
Anorak really must be the one with the amazingness.
Anorak? No, I refuse to believe it. A common woodlouse?
Killbug, please, Mr. Harrison.
A common woodlouse could never be as clever as to know what tomorrow is going to be like.
Well, it's nearly tomorrow now, Mr. Harrison.
Oh, yes.
And so, we'll soon know.
Well, I, for one, have no intention of believing that this woodlouse has any powers at all. It's all rubbish as far as I'm concerned. What's that?
What's what, Mr. Harrison?
That noise. It's
Odd?
Oh, yes. It's odd. What is it?
It's all over the green stuff, Mr. Harrison. And it's,
Yes, well, what is it?
it's wet.
Wet? Wet? You mean it's the wet tomorrow, Anorak?
Yes, Mr. Harrison.
I want a word with you about pink and wet tomorrows.
I must say, this is all very strange indeed.
Ish. Strange-ish.
So as the strangeness went on, and today became a wet tomorrow, the rest of the creepy crawlies settled down to watch the sun go down beyond the old broken sundial.